Hey guys, it's Rottweiler back at it again with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Tales of Aether.
Here we go, got my position, let's hit the road. Looking back, I know they probably doubt me, now the city on my back, I wear it proudly. I'm a hero in the making, if I'm dreaming, you can't wake my time. I'm seizing the moment, cause I gotta go for the time's gone. Ain't scared of the dark, cause I'm bringing the light with a nice long I shine on.
So Tales of Aether is a comic book series started by Dan and his team to really flesh out the world of Rivals of Aether. Because if we remember back in the story mode of Rivals of Aether, it's kinda lacking, to say the least. This is a way to really grow the lore and really flesh out each character without holding back the actual game. So I don't know if Rivals 3D will have a story mode, but even if it doesn't, they can focus on making that a really strong game while fleshing out the characters and lore and world building through their comic series, which again is fantastic. I read it myself like the day or day after it was revealed on Twitter, and I was immediately hooked, immediately immersed, because the art is so good. And not only is the art good, but the actual storytelling is solid. It's really good. Like, you get to see Clairen's origin story in this first issue. You learn about how Forsburn is confirmed to be something. There's a lot of things here, right? And it's so cool that I'm able to talk about more Rivals things, because there really wasn't much to talk about for Rivals outside of actual gameplay. I mean, there's a lot to talk about for its actual gameplay, don't get me wrong, but Rivals in general, like the scope, the full scope of Rivals, I can really only talk about a single aspect. I myself love stories. I always love RPGs, JRPGs, and because the story is so rich and it's very like engaging, and it makes you grow more attached to the actual characters. And this is what Rivals needed. It needed a reason for you to actually care about these characters other than them being fun to play. Like, yeah, everyone, I love Sylvanos so much. I love Forsburn. They're very fun characters, but like, I can't really talk about them. What am I gonna say? What's his character about? He was betrayed by, well, his brother thought he killed his dad, and he had to go on a mission to become a Smoke Clan member, and now he's back with his brother. That's where that ends. Oh, okay. Yeah. You got anything else? No, that's it. But this is crazy. This is issue 1, and I feel like I know more about the world and Rivals than or certain characters like Clairen than I did before, or even Clairen, who is in the story and mentioned in only like in 2 or 3 panels of the Rivals of Aether story mode, but here she's like huge. She's like, wow. First of all, she looks like a badass. She reminds me of this character called Marion Leona from Black Clover. She's awesome. Her design looks sick, and I really just have to be so thankful, because not only does she look cool, but like the part she plays in making Forsburn who he is expressed way more vividly and clearly through this comic than it would in the story mode, or than it is in the story mode. This comic shows you who Clairen really is, and it's very cool to see how feisty of a character she is, and how much she doesn't like to listen to like instructions or follow the rules. Not saying that's necessarily cool or anything, but in this circumstance she's in, it's actually really honorable or admirable, or you know, or inspiring even. Like some of the stuff that happens in this comic, I start to be like, wow, damn, that's really sad, and that's really messed up. Like, something happens to her and her family in like the little tent that they're in, and while they're in that tent and that thing happens, it's like, it's not about what exactly happened, it's about what it represents. And I was like, man, that is so sad. I'm gonna just say Slingshot, and the people who've, you know, read it, you know what I'm talking about. People who have not, hopefully you read it and get to that point, and then you see what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is so good. Again, this just gives Rivals a chance to grow each and every character. I have theories that I feel like I know exactly who is the person who sent Clairen back to the past to help the other 6, as they call it in the comic, champions. The Rivals are called either champions or legends, and that's cool because it reminds me of League of Legends, which has amazing lore. basically, I'm in love with this. I'm truly in love with this. Every moment, every page I spent, like, I was like, wow, this is just so good. The art is so good. I gotta give props, because whoever made, like, the team who made this and spent time on this really did such a great job. I want to see more about Absa, Edelus, Sylvanos, Rano. Like, even I don't even like Rano that much, but I feel like I would like him more after this, because this gives the characters that, for one, weren't in the story mode a chance to have their own story. And not only that, but they could even, if they really wanted to, go kind of backwards a bit and talk about the other characters more in depth, more about Loxodon, which is like the emperor that rules the fire capital in Clairen's story. And I just think it's just so much potential here. And I gotta say, if you don't own this, please pay $2.99 and own this and read it, because it's very good. And if you've already read it, please spread the word. I'm not saying you gotta be like me, get on YouTube, make a little video, and, you know, try to get as much attention as possible to this. You can do that if you want. It's your life. But please spread the word. This is so good. And I do want to say slight spoilers here, because I just want to talk about this so badly. It's the fact that Clairen is, like, in the story, the last person who can use fire, and at least in the fire capital. But she's the last person with the power to manipulate fire, and everyone else in the fire capital apparently has, like, lost their way to the fire, and that only leaves her and Loxodon, the emperor or whatever, of the fire capital, who took over. He's like a tyrant. And the cool part about this is that it really makes Clairen feel more like a unique character, because it makes her feel like she's special, because she's the last person with any type of ability or power to take him down, at least with fire, you know. Maybe she can team up with, like, the heroes from the past. Like, I think this is obviously going to happen, because she can't beat him 1v1 in her own trailer. So I feel like it just means more that she's the only one with fire. She's the last person with any kind of ability to go back and help the original 6. I wanted to, like, spoil that, basically, with that little bit, because I wanted to be able to just tell you, like, to show you that there's so much here that we didn't even know. Like, that is something that isn't mentioned in the story, in the OG one, because there was no need. I mean, not no need, but, like, there was no time, no room to fit that kind of thing in there. I mean, to be honest, Clairen isn't even in the story. She's in the trailer. That's all her trailer. So there's nothing in there that would let you know any of this. So it's just really cool yet again to have something like this. So that's all from me. I just wanted to say all of this because it's so good. Don't sleep on this. This is actually amazing. It's literally like Dan was like, how do I grow my world, my universe? Dan's got, like, this little Rivals Aether universe, and he's like, how do I grow it? I've got 14 characters. Well, actually, he's got, like, is it 12? Yeah, he's got 12 OG characters, like OC characters, right? He can't really use Shovel Knight and Ori and everything else because, you know, they're not his characters. So he's got 12 characters. How do I keep growing this, right? How do I make my world more, like, in depth and more reason for people to, like, want to come to, like, my thing, like, come to my side, you know? Like, for Nintendo, like in Smash, every character has their own, like, story, their own game, where they came from, right? Their own lore. And if you really wanted to, like, invest yourself and learn about it, you could play those characters' games. If you go to Rivals, that's all there is. It's just Rivals. There's no other game that really expands on the character's lore. So it's really cool that this comic exists to do that. Dan was like, okay, well, if I have this, let's start here with my basis and let's branch it out. Let's do more. And now we have Tales of Aether, which is a way to really go into deep lore. Because if you look on League of Legends, they have, like, a whole site dedicated. I think this is their literal site, League of Legends or whatever. It has pages and pages and pages and pages of lore for every character. And that's what makes, for one, me love League of Legends, because I can tell you so many character stories for League. I can tell you that Ashe is an Iceborn, and that's what makes her able to wield her bow, and she's supposed to be like the descendant of Avarosa or whatever. Like, I can tell you that about almost every character in League of Legends. Like, literally, I love lore, and the fact that I can start doing that for Rivals means so much to me. So thank you, Dan. Thank you everybody you got to like help you make this. And I'm also thankful, Dan, that you have the vision in your mind to like do these things, because I love Rivals and you're growing what I love. So thank you, and I love you, and I love everybody watching this video. Now that's been all for me. You guys have a good one. Peace out.
Flame to your neck, that's a choke slam.